And yes, Commissioner Baloyi, I agree with you that the current 3478 reads exactly as 3480. Yes. I take it it's the second page of either of both affidavits. So you don't get rid of any one of them. You need both pages to make sense of the affidavits, yes. And if, for a moment, let's stay with 3475. As currently filed, the affidavit starting at 3475 doesn't have an ending. That is why I propose to bring 3478 forward to make it an ending to 3475. But if then we go to 3780, that appears to be the ending, much as it's worded in exactly the same terms, seems to be the ending to the affidavit starting at 3479. Well, Commissioner Kumalo nods his aid. He seems to agree with me.
There was a slightly different problem.
Yes.
In the photocopies, one page was copied twice in one of the photocopies.
No,
it won't be in yours, so you
okay.
won't notice.
I won't understand that. Okay.
Sorry, Counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
To which page did you direct us now?
No. We're still trying to sort out which page follows which, then we're going to start. Thank you, Commissioner. So then we start at the beginning of CJC 393, that's at your page 3466. And these are the documents you provided us. Unfortunately, that page, the case docket, it's barely legible, but at least in the top center block, you can make out the case number, and I read it as 1650/10/2024. That is then followed by the reposition 3467, and you will note in the second block, it's got the date of 29/10/2024, signed by Captain, I can't make out the name, but the captain. Then it jumps to 3468, our new 3468, and it's got case number 542/06/2025. That's a Brooklyn case, and that's what we call the Mukwele case. For your notes, that is the front page of the A1 statement as we already have it at file 2, page 681, together with the following page at 3469. Then once again at 3470, it's a Cape Town 1650/10 statement. So that's when the case was opened in Cape Town. At 3471, bearing the same case number, we know the offense there is defeating the ends of justice. And 3472 is Mr. Adams's handwritten statement. I assume that it is in respect of case number 1650. There is nothing that tells me, unless perhaps the content just might do, so we retained it there. And at 3473, you will note, Commissioners, that it was commissioned on the 29th of October 2024 at 1500 hours. And that is then followed by 3474, which is a copy of the investigation diary signed by Captain somebody there, and references the statement taken from Mr. Adams. Now, that we should consider that as the pack for case number 1650. Now, you recall, Advocate Johnson, we're going through this exercise because we established that IDAC received a Section 27 affidavit on the 21st 27th or 21st?
21st.
21st of November 2024. And the idea, I think we've established that it was fairly deficient for compliance with Section 27 itself. And you indicated that the dockets, the relevant dockets, the A1 statements in there, plus the supplementary statement, would cure whatever legal deficiency there was in the original affidavit. And collectively, that's what informs the Section 28 summons. That's the purpose of this entire exercise. So let's look at 1650, this one that we've been discussing, which would start at page 3466 to 3474. If you go to page 3472, that is Mr. Adams's statement. And at the time he opened this case in Cape Town, I'm at 3472. In the second paragraph, it reads, a cover-up of Major General Lushaba's Sunnyside case of robbery, whereby official state firearm, laptop, and cell phone was stolen after acquiring the services of a prostitute on 5 August 2022. Lieutenant General Kumalo instructed Major Ligalagala and Brigadier, looks like either Monyani or Monyana, it fell off in the copying, to ensure that there would be no investigation into the conduct of General Lushaba as per Valeria case 38/822. The prostitute was paid for her silence using monies from the Secret Service account. New equipment was bought for Major General Lushaba by again abusing the Secret Service account. Evidence to this effect is available. You see where I'm reading?
Yes.
So this particular case relates to the so-called cover-up of General Lushaba's, I don't know if it's a crime, misconduct, but concerns with how Major General Lushaba ended up losing his equipment. I then look at the statements that you have provided, A1 statements that you have provided. These start from page 3479. There are 3 statements. And none of them speak to this particular issue raised in docket number 1650 in Cape Town.
On
the statements
3485.
They go 3484. That's how far they go to 3484.
Yes, what I'm saying is that...
Oh, sorry, 3486.
Yes,
3486.
but is counsel saying that other than that handwritten statement, there isn't another statement referring to the issue of the Lushaba housebreaking?
No, relating to the cover-up by General Kumalo, who instructed Major General Ligalagala and Brigadier Munyani or Munyana to ensure that there is no investigation. The statement we are looking at 3485, on my reading, speaks to the housebreaking. And overleaf at 3486, he says, after making this report, I make inquiries. And Mr. Adams says that he could not get a case number as concerned that my report was being swept under the carpet. I don't see in this January 2025 statement any allegation pertaining to the conduct of General Khumalo, General Lekalakala, and General Munyama. Do you?
I see that.
You confirm that. And then staying at 3472, it concludes with the words, evidence to this effect is available. Did IDAC ever obtain that evidence?
I'm unable to respond to that. I don't know that we did get.
So, sorry, I'm
unable to. Sorry, I'm unable to respond to that. I'm unaware of what follow-up they would have made.
Now, do you know who within IDAC became the investigator in this particular complaint?
The one with Lushaba.
Yes.
That is Mr. Padiachi.
Mr. Padiachi.
Yes.
So if anyone should have called for that evidence, it would be Mr. Padiachi.
Correct.
If you go to 3474, that is the investigation diary of, I think, the officer who took the complaint. I'm looking at line 8, where it describes the modus operandi. It appears that suspect, Lieutenant General Khumalo from SAPS, Secret Services, neglected protocol and instructed Major General Lekalakala and Brigadier Munyani to not conduct investigations against General Lushaba. So that is the officer's interpretation of what's contained, the summary of the A1. Okay, then if we move forward then to 3475, we're just following the sequence of the page numbers. What we have here at 3476 now is the statement by Mr. Adams, commissioned by Mr. Perumal. At paragraph 2, you will recognize that that statement is our A1 statement in the docket. At file 2, page 3478, we have, no, it's not this one. My apologies, I take it back. This is a second issue now. The allegations related, I'm reading at paragraph 2, fourth line. The allegations related to the highly questionable appointment of General Khumalo as the head of crime intelligence nationally. The former Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, was also involved in this, whilst several high-skilled generals within CI were overlooked. At paragraph 3, Khumalo's vetting processes were allegedly fast-tracked by Masemula, who knew that Khumalo did not have a top-secret clearance for many years. And then the last line at paragraph 3, I suspect that the vetting processes were manipulated in favor of Khumalo as well. My interpretation of what's contained in paragraphs 2 and 3 is that former Minister Bheki Cele was involved in the questionable appointment of General Khumalo and overlooking other highly skilled generals. And secondly, at 3, Khumalo's process was allegedly fast-tracked by Masemula, who knew that Khumalo did not have a top clearance certificate. I don't know. I take it fast-tracking in and of itself is not the crime, but what's sought to be expressed here is the unlawful conduct by Minister Cele had the support and participation of General Masemula. Do you get to the same conclusion as well?
Yes.
Now, you remember Section 28 that has got a list of people. This is the only statement I found where current generals or high-ranking members of crime intelligence, where their security clearances are questioned. And I see only General Khumalo. I can't find any other basis for General Madondo, Galakala, and that entire list. And I do not have any other A1 statement that introduces them by Mr. Adams being the complainant.
If you look at, through your chair, if we look at 3479, paragraph 2, on or about early October 2024, I received information anonymously surrounding alleged fraud and corruption being perpetrated within the Division Crime Intelligence of the SAPS. The allegations related to the questionable lateral transfer of Major General Madondo from KZN to CI head office by Lieutenant General Khumalo, who was assisted by other senior generals to do so, knowing that she failed a top secret clearance for many years. That is where I see it.
Okay, so that statement then introduced General Madondo.
That statement introduces.
You remember we have Brigadier Van Vuren, we have, I think, Brigadier Bobby, we have Mube, we have all of them. There are about 8 in our section 28. We account for only 2 if these statements get us there, but just for the moment, accept that they do. We have only 2 whose vetting clearances are questioned. Do you read the documents as I do?
Yes. In these, the vetting that is being questioned is that of General Khumalo and General Madondo.
Yes. So our section 28 is, in part remains unanswered. We don't know why you are inquiring into the vetting of the remainder of the people listed there, except, of course, for Brigadier Mukwele, because her statement is different. My second question is, if page 3475 suggests that former Minister of Police Becky Cele was involved in this, I take this to be the crime. Am I reading it correctly? Julie assisted by General Masemola, who fast-tracked the clearance of General Khumalo, knowing that Khumalo did not have a top secret clearance for many years. My first question, what crime is being complained of here?
I am aware that from a certain rank, they are all supposed to have security clearances as per their own internal requirements, and that not having security clearance at a specific rank does not allow you to occupy that rank.
Yes.
Yes. And so for me, it would be, it is more a contravention of either the Intelligence Services Act and or the contravention of a standing order of the South African Police Services.
And what crime is that?
So in this paragraph,
if I may just add, remember we should keep at the back of our minds section 7, bracket 1, bracket capital A. What crime is that to bring whatever was happening here, assuming it is correct, within the mandate of IDAC?
So we are reading one statement.
Yes.
And the question you asked in council is based just only on this paragraph and what crime it commits.
On the vetting issue.
On the vetting issue.
Yes, on the vetting issue.
So if a vetting is fast-tracked, what crime is committed? So if a national commissioner fast-tracks the vetting of one of his generals, what crime is committed there?
The likelihood Commissioner Khumalo, is that in the manner in which it is done, that there could be fraud having been committed because there are certain processes that happen, and it can't happen in 3 days. There's checks, you've got to go and do background checks, financial checks. There's quite a few things that must happen. So it would mean that either something fraudulent happened, which could be the only case, but the bypassing of the vetting would be a contravention then in terms of the intelligence services. So other than the fraud, if it took place, there isn't anything else there that would bring it into the mandate.
The question, Ms. Silo's question is, what places that within the mandate of IDAC? Even if what you're suggesting were to be shown to have happened, they fast-tracked it and they committed some fraud in the process, why would that be something that falls within your mandate in 7(1)(a)?
Just merely in terms of the fraud, nothing else.
But you do remember that when you appeared last time, you accepted that the fraud, theft, and that list, forgery and uttering, they have to be related.
Yes.
To the main.
To a financial crime.
Yeah.
Or commercial crime.
A serious corruption. So why do you say that would be so in this case? Why would the fast tracking of a security clearance or vetting constitute a serious crime of corruption that falls within 7(1)(a)?
I hear you, Commissioner Baloyi. I can't take it further than the point that you've made.
Is another way to your answer a clearer way that you don't see why it would be a crime?
As it stands here, I cannot see.
That comes within your mandate?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Yes, Ms.
And we know that General Khumalo is facing charges and potential arrest under case 453/06/2025, and that's pertaining to the vetting issue. Is that correct? The warrant of arrest that was suspended, it relates to the vetting issues, doesn't it?
I speak under correction. It relates to the vetting issue of General Madondo.
Of General Madondo?
Yes.
And
the fraud related to that vetting.
Not General Khumalo's own
Not General
vetting.
Khumalo's vetting.
Okay.
It relates to a role he played allegedly in
General
that
Madondo
contravention.
Thanks for that. Thank you for that clarification. When you
So he potentially faces an arrest for something that may not fall within the mandate of IDAC, given this last discussion that you and I had.
I cannot say that not having full sight of all the evidence, given that the allegations against General Madondo in that matter relate pertinently, from my recollection, to her having committed fraud, having misrepresented her position, and that he then knowingly accepted that fraud and then perpetuated the process further, not the vetting.
Yeah, that's why I limited my question to our vetting discussion, that insofar as that a charge that he's facing may relate to vetting, one of the charges, if there's more than one, may relate to vetting, that potentially may be a charge which doesn't fall within the mandate of IDAC, given what we have discussed.
Yes, it would only be the fraud relating to the alleged fraudulent documents, remarks, etc., that would have been made by General Madondo.
Thank you.
Johnson, do you not sign off on the processes that lead to the warrant being issued? Does that happen behind your back? I was under the impression all along that before your investigators can seek warrants, they have to come to you for sign-off.
No, Commissioner. What they do is before they sit with the prosecutors and they then compile those applications for the warrants. They are checked by the prosecutors and by the deputy in that team.
So you play no part in that process?
Not in the warrant process. We are then briefed afterwards that, or before the warrant is executed, sorry, Chair, that before it is executed, we are then briefed that there is an impending arrest.
Thank you, Commissioners. Then on the logic of case number 453/06/25 against General Khumalo regarding General Madondo's vetting or the lack thereof, I take it IDAC is preparing to charge and arrest former Minister Bheki Cele and General Masemula for General Khumalo's own vetting shortcomings. Logic dictates that that should follow.
As I indicated, I'm not vested with the cases at the moment, but that logic does
That
follow.
logic does.
Yes. I can't argue the logic away.
It's on the logic of your answer. Would it be appropriate, though, to be investigating such and threatening to arrest Minister Bheki Cele, former Minister Bheki Cele and General Masemula for the fact that General Khumalo was hired into crime intelligence without vetting clearance in the absence of any fact that he in fact did not have clearance, which was an absolute prerequisite for his appointment? Is it appropriate to follow that line of investigation culminating in potential charges and arrest based on what you have at 3475?
No, unless they fall within other offenses that are not here.
Well, it doesn't have other offenses thus
Yes,
far. And this is a statement that was commissioned by Mr. Perumal on the 6th of January 2025, as you see from page 3746. And just like previous
Sorry, page
3476, you remember we changed?
3476, yes.
Yeah. We changed number.